gospel singers gave a joyful welcome to crowds at the gathering opposite the Houses of Parliament. The statue of the former South African leader was designed as a tribute to the man who spent 27 years of his life in prison in his fight against apartheid. Now aged 89, Mr. Mandela has become a global icon of leadership and humanity, demonstrating immense wisdom, tolerance and forgiveness that was displayed most prominently to the white community when he became leader of South Africa in 1994. Prime Minister Gordon Brown has a long-standing admiration of the Nobel Peace Prize winner and devoted a chapter of his recent book, Courage, to Mr. Mandela's life. Yesterday, Mr. Brown invited Mr. Mandela and his wife, Dame Michelle, to number 10 Downing Street to welcome them to Britain.
That's lovely. Yes. Well, let me welcome to Downing Street, on behalf of Sarah and myself, the most inspiring, the greatest, and the most courageous leader of our generation. It's such a privilege to have Nelson Mandela and to have his wonderful wife, Gracia Michelle, with us here today. And I'm looking forward to our discussions.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward also to the monument, the statue that will be inaugurated in your honour tomorrow in London. It's such a privilege to have you here.
Mr. Mandela was the first president of South Africa to be elected by a truly democratic process. Before his presidency, he was an anti-apartheid activist and leader of the African National Congress. His actions saw him sentenced to life imprisonment, and he became one of the most widely known figures in the struggle against discrimination. He was released in 1990, by which time he had spent nearly 3 decades in a cell on Robben Island. On his release, he helped lead the transition to a multiracial democracy in South Africa. The Prime Minister led the tribute, comparing Mr. Mandela's efforts to those of Abraham Lincoln and Sir Winston Churchill, whose statues already stand in Parliament Square. He said Mr. Mandela's struggle against apartheid symbolized the fight against racial tyranny and the protection of human rights.
Today, let me, on behalf of all the people of our country, welcome to Britain today the man who will be remembered forever as the leader who ended apartheid. The man whom no prison cell, no intimidation, no violence, no show trial, no threat of execution could ever silence. He is a man whose belief in the future was so powerful that not even 27 years behind bars and barbed wire could destroy his dream and his demand that by fighting apartheid from his prison cell, millions today could be and are free.
Mandela, or Madiba as he's known in his native land, has travelled the world meeting ordinary people and national leaders, visiting charities and receiving hundreds of awards. He retired from public life on his 80th birthday, but has never lost his sense of public service. In his speech, Mr. Mandela gave thanks for the honour and praised Gordon Brown.
Friends, please allow me to congratulate our friend, Gordon Brown, on his new position as Prime Minister of Britain. We are confident that his leadership will not only reinforce Britain's position on the world stage, but serve the British people and the world at large with distinction. It remains for me to acknowledge my gratitude to all who have made this day possible. We trust that the statue will be a reminder of heroes and heroines past, as well as an inspiration for continuing struggle against injustice. I thank you.
The statue was created by sculptor Ian Waters, who sadly died last year and never saw the finished masterpiece.